halter on Lily, and I'm guarding the doors at the back of the barn, and I'm like, okay, through, and she just walked on through, turned around, real so sweet, and I was like, perfect.
That's what I trained her to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's why I knew. I said to Grace, I got to the gate if you got it. Okay. I said to Grace, watch how easy this is going to be, like, because Lily knows exactly what's expected of her now to go through, and he headbutted your camera.
I know. I'll reset it. We'll groom him a little bit. Let's start there.
All right. Which one were you using? The little knobby one?
The knobby one is nice for the beginning.
Yeah, to loosen stuff up.
To loosen stuff up, and then and especially when you put a saddle on it on him, it's important to make sure that wherever the saddle is going, there's no dirt or because that would be very counterproductive. And this ritual, you can see that he is now already so much more comfortable. So because saddling is something you're going to be doing all the time, it is a super important thing that it is done very consciously. And that he is completely fine with the whole saddling procedure, because if he is already starting to feel done to with the saddle, that just sets you up for the rest being reluctant.
Right. So you want this to be a comfortable operation.
Yes, and something that he is participating in rather than that it is done to him.
Yeah.
Okay, sweetie pie.
It's like, yeah, but
of course, we are starting to get more
green.
We're starting to get more competition from the grass now.
Right.
But he's been doing very good. So instead of just throwing this on him, I want to make sure that he understands every part of the process. And that he is absolutely comfortable with everything.
Right.
And just because he's standing next to the mounting block, I'm using it to make my life easier.
Yep. And just putting it on him anywhere so he's not concerned.
And that he understands what's going on.
Yeah.
That this is going on him. He knows what it is. And I'm also just reaffirming every step of the way that it is okay. And that his cooperation is appreciated.
Okay, so show me that little Ziploc thing.
So this thing just hooks onto
one of
those, just so
kind of keeps it with the saddle.
Yeah.
That's what I was expecting. It's like didn't seem very long.
It isn't, and then the girth can go under here.
Right.
I'll do that on the other side. And so, at first glance, I would say that this saddle is a pretty good fit. And I'm not a saddle fitter, so the saddle fitting is a profession.
Yeah.
So it's not, but there are a couple of basics that you need to be aware of. This needs to be able to sit comfortably over his withers. There needs to be space here.
Yeah.
You need to, it can't pinch anywhere, so you need to be able to put your hand here. That's the width of the gullet. So this is
making sure that this width is okay for his shoulders.
So that you can put your hand in here and you don't feel like it's pinching him.
Right.
He
or
has
riding
lots
on
of
a hard
space
spot.
here. He has space here. So I would say, as far as I'm concerned, this is a fine saddle to start him off on. And it looks good too. You could say
Maybe.
Greenbroke.
Yeah, and maybe they know how to handle them. So.
But so he's taking this all very well. And you see that his head position is far lower.
Yeah.
Because he is a more
Just
confident horse.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he has more experience already, and he had a saddle on him and everything.
Right.
This girth is far too long.
That's what I was thinking when you were doing that.
But that's, I mean, I because we're not going to be jumping fences or
Right,
anything.
right.
But it is definitely
That's
too
the
long.
top. That's the top eye on both of those. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this just means that you can't really rely on. I wouldn't like get on him from the ground, for instance.
Right. At the end of last winter, he was overweight.
Yeah.
And Kate, the farrier's Caitlin, she's like, yeah, I wouldn't want to see him any heavier than that. Maybe should just take care of it. But you know, so I think they did fine this winter. They didn't get plumped up, but
Yeah.
it was actually really funny to see when she pointed it out. I'm like, you're right. He actually is getting chunky.
Yeah. So this saddle is the fit, saddle wise, I would say, is fine.
Okay.
I wouldn't. The saddle is not an issue, but the definitely the girth is too long. So.
Right. Hey.
Okay, let me move him around a little bit.
He's just got grass on the mind. We've got that rope everywhere, guy.
Yeah. It's time to do something rather than eat grass. So I'm just going to see first how he is just carrying this.
Sure. Yep.
This is the first time that he's carrying it.
Yep.
And let's just see how he feels when he's moving around. First. That seems fine. Good lad. Good boy. So that seems fine. And then you would, if you had any room on the girth, you would
Snug it
tighten it a little bit right now, but
Yeah.
unfortunately we don't. And then the next thing I want to do is do the same thing, but then with the stirrups
down. So
down.
he gets used to them flopping around. And
Exactly.
tapping them.
Exactly, and see how he takes that. Okay, you are very lazy today. Come on. I don't have, well, I do actually. Why don't you do this for a little bit? Would you be comfortable doing this
Sure.
for a little bit?
Yeah.
And so let him move around a little. And do you have a helmet?
Drag. Rather than get it dragged across the yard.
Yes.
Okay, bud. Let's go. Walk around.
If he is crowding your space,
Yeah. Then I can just do that kind of thing.
well, you could use your whip, and if he is not all that inclined to give you more space, then just use a bigger tool, like this one.
Oh, right.
This is a lunge whip, and you can keep him out
Right.
of your space a little bit better.
Yeah. He's wanting, like he's seeing, well, the treats are over there.
Right, yeah, and you don't have any treats right now.
Go on. That's a good boy. That's a good boy.
I am putting my leg on.
Yep.
So he's taking this pretty good. This flapping, he's taking that pretty good. I'm going to do that on the other side as well. Are you seeing that his disposition is to put his head way lower than Tequila?
Right. Yeah.
It's because he is far more used to this stuff and more confident.
Yeah.
So his head doesn't come up. You see, when they do this when they hear something, when they're unconfident,
Right.
when they feel like there's maybe something threatening.
Right.
So I'll do this for a couple of minutes.
I did this trail ride thing with these Tennessee walking horses.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was like a 3-hour thing. It was up in Aurelia area through their farm and forests. It was a great ride, but they had them for sale, so they said, come on out and ride them around and stuff. I just found them very small.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And so I've got pictures of me on them, and then when I see them, I'm like, they were ridiculously small, it seemed. I didn't think of it at the time in particular, but seeing me sitting on one,
I know.
and I'm tall, but I'm not heavy.
Because you are also not going to be super elegant. Any new rider is going to be a little loud.
Yeah.
But you can see that he's taking this really great. Because that's a lot of movement. I'm yanking the stirrup. I'm letting it flap back to his flanks. His head is not coming up. His energy is not coming up. This is pretty ideal. So this is kind of like a pre-ride test. Can I do all of this? And you see how intense I am getting.
Yeah.
And his response is minimal.
Right.
Very good boy. Very good boy. There you go. That is very good. So those are exercises that are really excellent before you get on.
Right. And the thing for me is, I learned by getting on the horses. So when I was a teenager, I was doing trail rides at Nottosauga Inn, had horses there all summer. I did it 2 summers in a row. And the girl, the woman, I mean, I was 16, she was in her 30s, calling her girl. But she knew what she was doing. She was a barrel racer, did all kinds of Western stuff, and the horses were all in Western. So the saddling and all that stuff became very routine to me, but I never got taught to ride. I just got on them and pointed them, and it seemed to work, right? But they might have even known, this guy really doesn't know what he's doing, but they were cooperating anyways, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But, because they were, they were...
Do you want me to get on him first, or?
Oh, I could get on, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that. I got thrown before.
Okay. So what I told him, and I can do the click and treat just for fun, but what I told him is to line up at the mounting block. He now does it even without me giving a cue.
That's a good boy.
He just, the sheer fact that I get on, and you could put your foot in the stirrup, I guess. Let me try it just to see how that saddle behaves.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, if you don't wait too long.
Yeah, don't rely on it too heavily.
Yeah, don't just hang on one side and don't mount from the ground. I have a dressage saddle, and I think I have a girth to go with it. I can bring it. It's definitely going to be shorter because this is a particularly long one.
Yeah.
And then for dismounting, I would just, instead of leaning to one side.
Sure.
But why don't you...
He didn't seem to react at all, so...
No, and we have done this
many times.
Hey,
buddy.
Why don't you walk him around and then get him to the mounting block?
Hold him here?
Yeah, just like this is a bridle.
Come on.
And then go to the mounting block, and I'll do the clicking and treating. And after you get on, just stay here, because the one thing you want to train him to is that he stays at the mounting block.
Right.
So you can ask him line up, and how he does it doesn't really matter. You can stand up. I would line him up to the mounting block rather than the mounting block to him.
All right.
Just go stand on it as it is. And you can say line up,
Okay, line up.
maybe point with, there you go.
Is he, like he's a little bit behind.
Yeah. Line up.
Come on, bud. No, she's got the treats over there. That's a good boy.
There you go.
Good
So now
boy.
he's in perfect position and he gets a treat for that.
Yeah, and this is tall enough that I can get on
Yeah.
without.
Yeah.
All right.
So when you think you are ready and he is ready, and I will do the clicking and treating.
Okay.
And
Well.
if you are comfortable putting your foot in the stirrup and then getting on, I can hold it.
Yeah, I think I might just, I'll go over because I
Okay,
feel
if
tall
you
enough.
feel that you can do
Yeah,
that,
I
that's
think
perfect.
I can do that. Probably. Good boy.
Yeah. Super. And just let him stand here for a little bit. Hey.
That's my shoe.
Of course, you're also not wearing the right shoes for stirrups because they can slide through.
That's
Hey,
right.
You need a heel.
I was gonna put my cowboy boots on, which have a great heel, of course.
Exactly.
But
Anyway, you can put your foot in the stirrups, or we can just leave the stirrups for now and you can ride without.
okay.
But if you're going to put one foot in, you should
Yes.
do both, otherwise
Well,
you get it.
I was actually trying to see where the hell it is. I will just put my
So
toes in.
make sure that you are not going in too deep. How is the length? They look like they could be a little longer.
They could be. I wasn't sure with English. Do they have them higher? Is that?
It depends on what discipline. For if you wanted to be jumping, this would be a good height. How does that feel?
Yeah, that's better for sure. And
Does
that's
that
actually.
feel better?
Yeah, and it seems like that's similar to the other side. No.
Let me see if, yeah, because this one does seem taller. If you take them both off, I can tell if you. This could have one more, and then there.
Yeah, because it was really easy to find the right one. So.
Okay. But you're seeing, I'm smacking this. I'm doing
Getting him
nothing
used to it.
very subtle.
Yeah.
Because I've been training him to be okay with a lot of commotion, even
Yeah.
when there's a human on his back. And that is important so that if something unexpected happens, that you're not immediately bolting.
Right.
Okay, so now that he is standing nicely at the mounting block, and once you are comfortable going for a little ride, what I first want you to do is change your energy a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You're now sitting there totally chill and relaxed.
Yeah.
And when you to kind of like prepare him that maybe we're going to do something different now.